Happy New Year, bitches. Okay. No, that wasn't. Yeah, Happy New Year to you too. I guess technically they're the only bitches in the house. Welcome. I'm wearing so many different shades of green right now. Just look away. It's all my favorite, most comfortable pieces, you know? Literally living my best life because I'm alone. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Yeah, like I love it. Love it. Dean's in Paris. Hope he's having fun. Let's just do a little back to reality vlog today. Let's catch up. We got some things to talk about. The last time we sat down and did a vlog, it was right before Christmas, and we're done with that now. Couple things I observed over the holidays about yours truly that doesn't make me feel great, but we'll talk about it. But first, I am freaking hungry, so let's make a snack. I'm trying to decide, it's snowy out there. I want to go for a walk, but I think I'm going to do a workout first because it's one of those things, like, I know myself. I'm a workout in the morning kind of gal. Like right now is my perfect workout time. So I'm actually just going to have half a banana. That's not really breakfast, but I can really only get down half a banana texture. I don't know, but I do love a banana. More water, change, and then we'll talk. Still going strong for years now with my BCAA, which is in here, and this is a pre-workout. I do not take full scoops of anything. I don't like things super sweet, so I take about a third of a scoop for my BCAA. This just adds a little flavor to the water, but also helps with your muscles post-workout. And this one gives you a little kick to get going, which sometimes I need. Takes a couple minutes to kick in. Anyway, okay, couple observations over the holidays. I did maintain my workout and all of that, so that's not a problem. I feel like I set realistic goals for myself, like for the last few months, where I aim to work out like 2 to 4 times a week weightlifting. That's my goal. And I did it, so that's great. That wasn't the problem. The problem was that I consumed too much alcohol over the holidays. I wouldn't say all in one go. I was never drunk. I never actually even felt tipsy. I just felt rough, and my body was like, what are you doing? And you know what happened? Which it only dawned on me like today that this is probably what was happening, is my anxiety was through the damn roof. It kicked in on New Year's Eve, and then it was like a week of high stress. There were some things that happened in there. My dog's deciding to eat her breakfast, so you can hear some munching in the background. But my kids, in hindsight, I thought maybe it was the stomach flu, but nobody else got sick. So I think it was food poisoning. It happens. Actually, I poisoned myself by accident in November or early December. It happens to the best of us, right? So the kids got food poisoning because they were sick within 30 minutes of each other. And they were the only 2 to have eaten something different than the rest of the group. So it happens. Anyway, but I have a huge health trigger about that sickness, and it's not even, I used to think it wasn't so much about the kids, because like I can clean up after them. I am fine in the moment. There's something that happens in my brain that I worry I'm gonna get sick, which is like a really strange thing, because even if I do, like, I'll be fine. But the anxiety that I feel about that, I think it's borderline like emetophobia. It's absurd and it really bothers me, but it's part of who I am, and so I just gotta deal with it. Thankfully, I have a lot more tools in my toolkit to help me manage my panic, but I would say that I had, for sure, in hindsight now, a full-blown panic attack while I was at my sister's house. And then that really drains me. And then I had to drive home for 6 hours. Like it really took the wind out of my damn sails. But now in hindsight, like even if that wasn't part of the equation, my anxiety was still kind of rumbling beneath the surface. And I'm pretty sure the only thing that I did differently, aside from being like in other people's homes and like just being tired from the holidays, is like too much alcohol intake. And we know that alcohol will trigger and can trigger anxiety if you have it. And I think I just gotta like let that go. Let's go do a workout, because I can tell by the speed of my voice that pre-workout is kicking in. Let's go. Right now. I'm gonna do a 20-minute bike, and I haven't been doing cycling as much lately. I really feel like Kendall today. I feel like you get used to, you start to really like some of the instructors and their vibe.
Right, to the leaderboard, to the right, send love, send a high five, put it in your thing, all of it, tap it, and it flies away. Peloton.
Well, I'm a sweaty mess. So I mentioned, you know, perspective and thoughts over, you know, the holidays and stuff. One thing I noticed is that, and thankfully I have a therapy session this week. I heard this really great thing on the podcast, We Can Do Hard Things with Glennon Doyle. I don't exactly know which one. I'm really new to this podcast. It might have been like the most recent one. But they were talking about when you're with your family. Oh, it was the one about toxic families or something. I don't have the worst family, don't get me wrong. Sometimes people watch this and then they jump to conclusions. Anyway, the podcast itself, this is not exactly my own family. But what I found really interesting was this one part where Glennon Doyle says that when she would be in her family settings, she always had a cup of tea in her hand, like a warm cup of tea. And she said upon reflection, she thinks that why she held that cup of tea and always had that cup of tea was like, it reminded her that she was a person who really enjoyed hot tea outside of her family dynamic. Because if you know much about family systems, basically when you're with your family, you kind of like play this role and you're inserted into this box. And even when you try to fight against it and like, no, that's not who I am, people will trigger you, or you'll just naturally fall into a role. Like I am a firstborn daughter. I fall into that role all the time. I feel like I need to do things for people when they are fully capable of doing it themselves. And I caught myself, too late, mind you, but I caught myself this visit like doing that. I don't need to do that. And I need to find the balance between helping and being of service when I'm a guest in someone's home or if they're guests in mine, but not going so far into doing everything for other people, or like, is it over hosting that I deplete my own energy? I really depleted my energy this season, and I'm a little bit disappointed in myself because I feel like I know better, but I don't know, it just caught up to me. I don't know, something happened this season and I just kind of got a little lost in the roles that I play, not realizing it. And then I lost a lot of energy, which tipped me into like a major anxiety episode. And it's just really interesting to be aware of it now. And also like, I caught it kind of quick. I kind of caught on to it. And I guess the part that Glennon was saying was like, holding that cup of tea reminded her that this is what she does and this is what she likes, and she has all of these things outside of this family dynamic. And I noticed like something that makes me feel nice when I'm home, for example, is I love to have my big, you know, thermos beverage, nice icy cold with my BCAA, and I just feel relaxed, probably, oddly, when I drink it, because like that's my drink when I'm home. I feel hydrated. I also like to put a little bit of makeup on and do my hair. And I notice when I'm at other people's homes, I don't do any of those things. And I feel a little bit like, if I had done those things, would I have felt more connected to myself? Would I have felt more grounded and sort of like, and then if you think about it, when you do those things, when you do your hair, you do your makeup, you're usually alone. It's a little bit more alone time, a little bit more time to recharge. And I will say, like, this has nothing to do with the people around me. No one is making me do anything. It's literally my own self. So just an interesting observation. And I think the baby steps or the takeaway that I'm going to do in my next, whether it's travel or anywhere where I'm like away from home for an overnight, is take the time to freshen up, to do my makeup. And I'm gonna bring my little BCAA, like I'll bring a little travel size one with me, so I feel this is my thing, this is what I like to do. And then if I can, the cherry on top is to integrate walking into my experiences. Both of my siblings, wonderful human beings, they live in more rural areas. And so I find myself not going out for a walk because it's like, I don't know, I'm out of my routine. I'm not thinking about it. I don't have my dogs with me, right? But I think that that actually would have made a difference. And I did think about it while I was visiting, but then you get caught up in making this dish and doing this puzzle or whatever the hell I was doing. So lessons were learned this holiday, and I want to take this with me into the new year. And this really ties into, you know, boundary setting. And that's something that I want to be in this year, is boundaries in terms of the ones I set for myself, and like not disappointing myself by putting myself at the bottom of the list. Enough of that crap. So thanks for coming to my TED Talk and my therapy session. But anyway, I know that a lot of us do this and a lot of us feel depleted, and perhaps my own little self-observation might offer insight into maybe things that you're doing or things that you could do differently. But let me know what you think about this concept of like basically holding on to parts of your identity when you're in and amongst family settings. It's really curious. Anyway, okay, let's go eat. This feels like the saddest lunch there ever was. I already ate half the egg. Salami sandwich, carrot, and an egg. I need to do groceries. I'm actually gonna put a grocery order through right after egg.
And this should be on. Do you see the lights?
Yep.
Okay, great. So, we're giving my new, what is this called?
DJI Mini Pro 4.
We're taking it for a tour. I'm learning how to use it, basically. And I wonder if there's a way to make this silent.
Well, hold it away from your face. I think there is. So now let's get into these things where I don't know if it will avoid.
We'll see.
But we'll see. It should fly up, or if it crashes, it crashes.
Oh no. Well, it's making sounds like it's avoiding. Oh yeah. Oh. Oh. We're flying through some trees. I don't think it liked that.
It didn't like that, yeah.
Okay.
Is it?
I think. Let's see.
Oh, and then we can just zoom in. Okay, there.
Okay.
But let's just watch it. If it gets crazy.
Okay.
Still recording?
Yep, still recording. It's our test run. I'm trying to see how I can, we're talking to people here, but let's see. I'm trying to see how I can use this in like regular content, because it'd be kind of fun as you go for a walk, you can talk.
Hello.